Gregg Jakobson was born on August 2nd, 1939, in St. Paul, Minnesota. Relatively little seems to be known about his early life, though some sources state that he was adopted. Two famous people in the music industry. Gregg was a talent scout and had been married at one point to the daughter of comedian Lou Costello. Through his friendship with Dennis Wilson, Gregg met Charles Manson. From there, Gregg would introduce Manson to Melcher. Manson would talk to Gregg and introduced him to Ruth Ann Morehouse. In Jeff Gein's book, Ruth Ann was well liked by Gregg, on top of Danny DiCarlo and Terry Melcher, to name a few. When he wasn't with Ruth Ann, Charlie would talk to Gregg about the music business and his various beliefs. While Gregg would listen to Charlie and his music, he felt that Manson was more interesting to look at than listen to. Every time Gregg would come by Dennis Wilson's house, Charlie and the girls would be there, lounging in the pool, sometimes even running around naked. I also want to point out that Ruth Ann was still a minor. Gregg, Dennis, and Terry Melcher were part of a group called the Golden Penetrators. Gregg and Dennis seemed more enthused with Manson than Terry ever was. While Terry Melcher had hired Gregg to scout out new musical talent, the connection Charlie had didn't make it any easier in getting a record deal from Melcher. Even though Melcher trusted Gregg Jakobson, he didn't sign people based on his friends' say-so alone. One source also states that Gregg told Rudy Altobelli about Manson. Altobelli was the owner of 10,050 Cielo Drive. Court transcripts show that Gregg had over 100 conversations with Manson about his philosophy on life. Manson told Gregg that there was no such thing as right or wrong. Charlie and Gregg would debate many times about these concepts, such as whether death was subjective or not. That death was only a physical change at the end of the body, a physical change that took place at the end of the lifespan of the body, and the spirit went on from there, and that is what was important. The essence of life went on. The body did not have much to do with the essence of life. He also quoted Manson as saying that death is a concept of man that exists only in the head, in the intellect.